Hello students, in this video we learn about law of conservation of energy. First of all, we know that energy exists in different forms. We know so many types of energies like sound energy, light energy, electrical energy, heat energy. Likewise, so many energies are there. Chemical energy is also there, biochemical energy is there. Likewise, energy exists in different forms. So, how these different forms are formed and how the energy is existing in these forms. In actual speaking, energy is not at all creating in different forms. I mean to say that suppose a plant is there, it is giving food for us, food energy. We think that plant is creating food, but no, plant cannot create food. Actually, it is the transformation of the energies because plant gets sunlight, which is a solar energy, and it gets some chemical energy from water from its roots and some chemicals for photosynthesis, some other chemical energy. All these chemical energy, solar energy, all these are converted into food. Again, that food, when we eat that food, again that food is converted to energy. Likewise, these energies are not created in different forms, but they are converted from one form to another form. That means they are transformed, transformed from one energy to other energies. You might have been studied about the structure of cells, electrolyte cells, like galvanic cell, Fleming cell, all those cells we get electrical energy from cell. General dry cell you consider. How dry cell is able to give us electrical energy? Inside the dry cell it contains one positive plate, one negative plate and some electrolyte. And because of the chemical energy, chemical reaction, some chemical deposition, that chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. That electrical energy we are using. In a similar way, simply when you go to home, switch on the fan rotates. The rotating fan rotating means it got some mechanical energy, right? But nobody created mechanical energy. The moment you switch it on, that electrical energy goes into the fan. In that fan, that electrical energy is converted to mechanical energy. Again, it is a transformation of energy or conversion of energy from one form to other form. Similarly, you consider so many examples. Suppose you are riding on a bicycle, right? The moment you pedal your bicycle, you are getting velocity. You are getting velocity means you are having kinetic energy. That kinetic energy you are not created, but you have transformed it. Your body in it is biochemical energy is present. That biochemical energy is transformed to kinetic energy of the bicycle and you. In this way, everything, every energy in the universe is a transformational form of one another. So finally, we can say that we cannot create energy, right? We cannot create any energy. And also, we cannot destroy energy, right? You cannot destroy any energy. For example, you say dry cell. Dry cell chemical energy is exhausted in the form of electrical energy. That means that chemical energy is not destroyed, it completely converted to electrical energy, right? Similar way you consider crackeries, some crackery, right? Which you consider um, For example, you're having a type of crackery, you just torch it, right? It explodes. When it explodes, all its all its chemical energy is converted to some part as a heat energy and most of the parts into sound energy. That is why you heard lots of sound during the crackery exploding, right? So likewise, you cannot destroy energy, you can convert it to other forms of energy, but there is no destroying of any energies. From this, we can say that in the whole universe itself, the energy is neither created nor destroyed. It converts from one form of energy to other forms of energies. Only transformation of energy can take place, but you cannot create any energy, you cannot destroy any energy to make it zero. This is what called law of conservation of energy. Now look out some examples. Consider example number 1, which says the electric motor converts electrical energy to mechanical energy. In your home, you might have seen to pump the water into your house, you use electric motor. That pumping of water is a mechanical work, mechanical energy is needed to that work, and the moment you switch on your electric motor, the electrical energy is converted to mechanical energy in the motor. This is transformation of electrical energy to mechanical energy. Similarly, consider example number 2. In electric cell, chemical energy is converted to electrical energy that we have already discussed. In electric cell, chemical reactions, due to chemical reactions, electric charge is deposited, that we can say that chemical energy is converted to electrical energy. In this way, energy is transferred or converted from one form to other forms, but it cannot be created or destroyed. That is, we call it as law of conservation of energy, and the total energy of the universe remains constant, right? Now we see this law of conservation of energy validation in different cases, right? For example, you take a simple pendulum example. Simple pendulum is a very best and simple example to understand law of conservation of energy, right? You see here a simple pendulum, it consists of a bob, a spherical bob, which is just suspended from fixed support, and when it is in its rest position, it do not oscillate, it simply stays at rest. No energy can be seen, no momentum can be seen. To make it oscillate, what we need to do is to simply drag it to a side, one side or the other side also, drag it aside and release it. Then it starts oscillating here and there continuously, right? So why it happens? As long as we consider that air resistance is negligible, the following discussion is valid, right? We are considering that air is not there. We are doing this experiment in vacuum, right? So the moment you take this bob to a side, you are slightly increasing the height of the bob. You can see here the height of the bob, the center of mass of the height of the bob is slightly increased from ground level to certain level. From ground level to certain level. See here, this is a ground level, right? And here it is the sidewise level. So this much height is increased. When you take object to certain heights, because of change in its positions, they'll get potential energy. So here the bulb now got potential energy. That means the simple pendulum got potential energy, right? The moment you release that bulb, this potential energy makes the bulb to move towards its mean position. As the bulb comes towards the mean position, which is called position C here, when it when it runs towards the mean position, its velocity gradually increases, and when it reaches the mean position, its velocity becomes a maximum. And as it is having velocity, it do not stay here. Its velocity pushes it to the other end, so it goes to the other end. When it reaches the point B, here you can see that it goes on, still its velocity becomes 0. When its velocity becomes 0, then again it starts returning to the mean position. So in this way it starts oscillating here and there likewise. Now we consider the energies at each level of these points. Now consider the point A. At position A, we know that velocity is 0. Its velocity is 0. But the bob is at certain height from the ground, from the main position. So we can say it is having some potential energy. So here at position A, the bob is having pure potential energy. But as velocity is 0, no kinetic energy is present. That potential energy gradually converts to kinetic energy as it reaches to point C. How this happens? When the object is at A, when the bob is at point A, it has certain height, right? And when the bob reaches the point C, its height is 0 because it is the mean level height it reached. So its height becomes 0. So from point A to point C, it has completely exhausted its height. Exhausted its height means height is becoming 0. When height is becoming 0, the potential energy at this point also 0. At point A, the bulb was having potential energy. At point C, the bulb is not having any potential energy. What happened to this potential energy? This potential energy is converted to other form like a kinetic energy. How we will be sure of that? Let us see. When the bulb is at position A, its velocity is 0. But if you observe gradually in reaching from A to C, its velocity slowly increases and becomes maximum at C. So as the bulb is moving from A to C, it is gaining kinetic energy. Gaining velocity means gaining kinetic energy. So here law of conservation of energy is valid because whatever the potential energy it is having at position A gradually converted to kinetic energy at C. So in this the energy is converted one form to other form. Similarly, you consider the kinetic energy at point C here. Here, when the bulb comes at mean point, its velocity is maximum, right? It possesses maximum kinetic energy. And because its velocity, it cannot stay at this particular point because V is not 0. As long as V is there, it starts moving towards the position B until its velocity at B becomes 0, right? So when it reaches the point B, what happens now? Here we will see. when it reaches the point B here, the velocity becomes zero. That means kinetic energy is becoming zero. Then what happened to that kinetic energy? You can see here, when the bob is at B, again its height is h compared to the mean position, right? So that height is indication of potential energy. That means its kinetic energy is converted to potential energy. And here we can say by some calculations that the total energies at all these points at A, at C and at B are equal. The sum of potential and kinetic energies at all these points are equal. Here at point A, it is purely potential energy, kinetic energy is zero. At point C, purely kinetic energy, potential energy is zero. The amount of potential energy at point A is equals to amount of kinetic energy at point C. That means whatever the amount of potential energy that is present, exactly converted to kinetic energy at point C, because potential energy is zero here. Similarly, whatever the amount of kinetic energy it possesses at C is equals to the potential energy at point B. We are purely considering potential and kinetic energies, because here potential energy is there, kinetic energy is zero. Here kinetic energy is there, potential energy is zero. Likewise. But indeed, whatever may be the energies, the total energies, we can say that the total energy remains constant at point A, at point C, at point B. This is law of conservation of energy in case of freely falling body. Sorry, in case of simple pendulum. Thank you.